Welcome to another episode on Hospitality Insider on Koni TV. I'm Connie Kim, but today's featured guest is Brett Rahinsky in Hotel Equities in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Brett.
Hi,
Welcome
Connie.
to Hospitality Insider.
Thank you, Connie. Thanks for having me.
I know that Hospitality Equities to develop and manage the hotel properties. So would you tell us about Hotel Equities to someone who just heard about it?
Sure. It's an exciting time for us, actually, and thank you for asking. We're actually celebrating our 25th year anniversary as a development owner and management company. We're headquartered or based out of Atlanta, Georgia, but we have satellite offices as well in other parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
We currently have 45 hotels that we own and manage for, and we're in the process right now of developing another 5 hotels in our pipeline. Those will be new builds. We have almost 1,000 associates
Wow.
on our team that we're very proud of. We are a full service operator. We're approved by all of the major brands to manage not only their select serve but also their full service hotels as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I thought that the Hotel Equities specialize in the select services, so you have a full service too then?
We do. Now the select service is our wheelhouse.
Uh-huh.
We think we understand that space as good or better than anyone in the country.
Right.
But we also have a full service division.
Mm-hmm.
We brought folks in from an infrastructure standpoint into our corporate office that have extensive full service background with all the major brands and upper upscale luxury as well as independent properties.
Wonderful. So that I understand that you were just short period of time with the Hotel Equities, but you already become COO. So can you tell us what is your secret?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to work for a boss who I consider to be a mentor, who saw something in me. I started off in the business 26 years ago as a bellman,
Yes.
and I've never left. It's all I know, and I'm still learning every day. I've been very fortunate over that 26-year period to work with some amazing leaders. And that's one of the things that we think that we try to do on a daily basis with our 1,000 associates. We don't hire a GM or hire a director of sales or hire somebody at the corporate office. We hire leaders, and then we teach them the skill that they need to be more successful leaders.
So you recruit outside of the hotel industry?
We do, in many cases. Now, we say hire an attitude and train the business. We can teach you the hotel business. That doesn't mean we won't hire somebody within the business,
Right.
or internally, certainly, and promote them up, but we're not afraid to go ahead and hire somebody outside the industry.
Yeah, I heard that we hire people for attitude, and you can teach the skill, but we can never teach the attitude.
You
Yeah.
can't, yeah. You could work all day long or for as long as you want and as hard as you want to try to change an attitude. It's a lot easier to train the skill, but to hire the attitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what is your passion?
Well, I'm a developer at heart.
Uh-huh.
And by that, not only do I mean developing assets or developing hotels, but developing people. I love being a part of a success story. I love, as I mentioned, I started off as a bellman, and I was fortunate enough where somebody saw something in me at various stages throughout my career.
Right.
So that's really what my passion is, what I love doing still. I love seeing that young individual or an older individual who has something in their eye and is willing to work and go the extra mile, and then watching that individual grow and lead and thrive.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because what have you learned? You have to give it back in order to fulfill all things that you want to do. So give us a little bit of a story of your mentor, somebody that who really recognizes who you are and then put you into place.
Yeah. The gentleman who I currently have the pleasure for working for, Fred Cerrone, who's our CEO, President, Chairman of our organization, and as I mentioned, 25 years. He's been in the business for 46 years.
All right.
And like me, started off line level associate and has worked his way up to owning a hotel company with almost 50 hotels. He believes in what we call a servant's heart.
Right.
That leadership,
Yes.
that our job at the very top is to support the bottom.
Right.
That we work for the bottom, if you will,
Yes.
that we work for the line level. And that permeates throughout our culture.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah, so, what is your biggest challenge?
Well, one of the things that is what I just mentioned to you about the people part of the business is also one of our biggest challenges, is that as we continue to grow, we put a lot of resources, time, effort, and money towards our training division.
Right.
We're always looking for good talent. We're always looking for good attitude. We're always looking to be able to fill a square peg in a square hole, if you will. We want to make sure that we're putting the right people in place for success. So finding that talent.
So what is the one thing or two things that you look for? If I'm sitting here interview with you for a job, what are you looking for?
Well, when I'm interviewing somebody,
Yes.
I'll quickly get through the business acumen side of the interviews to figure out whether or not they have the skill set that's required for the position that I'm interviewing.
Right.
Where I really try to hone in and focus is I try to get to the value of that person,
Okay.
the integrity of that person,
Okay.
the work ethic of that individual.
Okay, perfect. Well, hold that thought.
Sure.
When we come back, we're going to hear great initiative, what he's doing today to prepare for the challenges that's coming up and for the growth of this hotel industry. So I wouldn't miss that. Don't go away.
Congratulations, Koni TV.
Congratulations, Koni TV,
Congratulations, Koni TV,
The first online
internet
TV station.
for the hospitality industry.
Congratulations, Koni TV. If you have not started watching it, you definitely should. Join us now.
Welcome back. We are here with Brett Rahinsky at Hotel Equities in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's going to share with us his initiative and the great things that they're going to do in this day of a hospitality industry. Hi, Brett.
Hi, Koni.
Thank you so much for sharing a lot of great stories. So let us know, what is your initiative? What do you do now to facing all this wonderful industry that's coming up?
Good question. We think we're at a very opportunistic time in the cycle right now where we can really take advantage of all of our key metrics as a developer, operator, and investor. So we are in the process as we speak of developing 5 new projects throughout the nation. We're expanding our footprint. We were historically primarily focused in the Southeast, but, but we now are deep in the Mid-Atlantic states. We've entered into the Northeast, and we now go as far west as Texas.
Okay.
We're looking to expand that footprint and come out further west into California, and at some point ultimately up into the Northwest as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
That's an ambitious plan
Absolutely.
in there. So you're in a very unique situation because you are investor, developer, and manager. And so you truly have a control over all your properties to be where you want to be. So what is different? What is that unique things that you provide that any other company doesn't do?
Yeah, so to your point, Koni, we're a one-stop shop, if you will. We're a full-service shop in that sense, in that our ability to go ahead and take a look at a project and know that we have the ability to take down that project through our own capital,
Right.
develop or reposition the project, and then manage that project.
Right.
Really puts us in a unique position in our space.
Right.
Yeah.
That is, however, let's say if I'm an investor that I'd like to invest on your property, what do I do? How do I go about it?
Sure. Well, we've created a fund, and we've JV'd with another group, and we've created a fund which is called HDP. Now that first fund is fully subscribed, and we've used that capital resource and we've deployed it. We've taken down 3 assets. We've purchased a hotel in Charleston, South Carolina, a hotel in Miami Beach, Florida, and a hotel in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
We're in the process of creating another fund, and that fund will be about double the size of the first fund.
Okay. Well, that's an ambitious plan.
Yep.
So share with us some of your great success stories. What is that one thing that you're so proud of?
Oh boy, that's a tough one because there's so many things I'm proud of, particularly since we're in the people business and I have 1,000 associates that I care deeply about.
Right.
I've been with the company for about 2 years, and in that 2-year period, I've been able to watch some folks really grow and prosper. Some folks who were at the property level when I first came on, and they're now at the corporate level. They're either regional directors or regional vice presidents.
Yes.
And just seeing that growth and how they've been able to impact not only their own lives and their families' lives, but other lives because they've come up it improves and increases the morale throughout the entire company
that's
when they see these
fantastic.
stories.
Yes.
I'm also very proud of the fact that we're growing our footprint geographically as well as segment
Yes.
into the full service arena.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people say that people are the best assets of the company. And then, like you said, it's only a good people that's an asset of the company, isn't it? And so that your job is really cultivating those good people, and you're just so proud that you see them grow more and more. That's fantastic.
It sure is.
Yeah, it is. So now the global market is opening up, and I understand that China or Asia will have more hotels than USA. And so how do you see you're going to expand to globally?
Yeah, we are. The world has shrunk, and business has become global.
Right.
Our focus still is primarily in North America.
Right.
We will be in Canada at some point in
Okay.
2014. We have a couple projects that we're looking at. We're also looking at some projects in South America, in Costa Rica and the Caribbean, to be specific.
Great.
We've also just created some communication, a little early to talk about in detail, but where we are talking with some investors out of Asia, both in China and India,
Right.
that they'd be bringing equity into the States,
Oh, wow,
and we would be
yes.
looking at projects with them.
Yes. Yeah, we just cannot ignore global market anymore, right? Yeah.
Be foolish to do so.
Yeah. So I heard that by 2019, the Asia would have more than 50% of the rooms than the entire world. So that's just amazing to me. So-
We got to get moving.
Yeah,
we
you
got to
gotta
get moving.
there. So now the sustainability is not a fashion word anymore. It's not a marketing gimmick. It is really a habit that we have to grow. So what is your initiative on that issue?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's become a non-negotiable. It's table stakes, if you will, particularly with the younger generation.
That's right.
And they know if you have integrity, credibility behind that, or if it's just not a full effort. And if they see that you're really not giving it its due attention and focus, they won't stay with you. It's that important and integral to them. So what we've done as an organization, we've taken the brand standards, as most of our hotels are currently brands, whether it be a Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt.
Right.
And we've then taken that up a notch. We've challenged all of our properties at the local level to say, here's the brand standards that you have to initiate. Now I want you guys to come up with additional initiatives and implement them in your hotels.
Okay.
Yep. And they've come up with some very creative ways to help save the planet.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, we certainly needed to have our generations to enjoy this earth
Yes.
as much as we do. And the other question I have is the tech-savvy millennials. You know, that is changing the world. And I mean, every tech, it's already old to tomorrow.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that?
Yeah, it's almost a full-time job just to try to stay in front of the demands and needs that are required on the IT side of the hotel business. We have a dedicated group at our corporate office that does nothing but ensuring that our hotels are up to speed and that they have the absolute necessities that anybody may be coming in with, particularly as you talk about the international traveler.
Right.
So they come with their smartphones, they come with their laptops, they come with their tablets. They're pulling bandwidth out of your hotels from all three devices at the same time, and on a busy day when you're fully occupied, your hotel's lighting up because it's just using all the bandwidth you have.
Yeah, hold that thought. We're
Sure.
going to continue.
Sure.
So when we come back, we're going to continue how we're going to handle that, as well as with their future plans. So what is coming up in hotel equity and hotel industry.
Hi, I'm David Kim with Darf Design, and you're watching.
You're watching.
And you're watching
And you are watching.
And you're watching Koni TV.
Koni TV,
Koni TV. Koni TV. Koni TV.
The first internet channel for the hospitality industry.
Watch and follow who she brings and what she brings to show you to inspire.
KoniTV.tv. I love it.
Welcome back at Hospitality Insider. I'm with Brad Rahinsky at Hotel Equities in Atlanta, Georgia. Brett, thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful story. But let's finish it up. How you see these millennials going to dominate a lot of spending, and so what are you doing in your company?
Sure. Well, we got to understand what they value, what's important to them. One of the things that they've really forced us to change is through the use of validation sites such as TripAdvisor and other social media, whether it's Twitter or Facebook. You're on stage every day,
That's
every
right.
moment. The days of a brand coming by once or twice a year and giving you a QA, while they're still there, they're gone, because you're getting a QA every day now through
Right.
social media.
Right.
Really, holding your feet to the fire, making sure that you're engaged, that you're adding value to their stay, that you're listening to them, and that you've activated your space. They don't want to come into a hotel room, check in, go to their room, and just sit in their room or order room service or watch TV. They want to come back down to the lobby and be engaged and be activated and be able to hop on the internet down there and socialize. So
Right.
it's forced us to do some paradigm shifts and thinking differently.
Right, it's just a lot of different challenges that are happening every day. So what is your future plan? What is your goal for 2014 and beyond?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. We're excited about 2014. We're bullish. As I mentioned, we have 5 projects in the pipeline under new development. We will continue to be in acquisition mode as well, where we see an opportunity to come into an existing asset, acquire it, and reposition it up to add value to the asset. We think there's a couple good years left, certainly in this cycle, for smart hoteliers to really make hay. We also hope that the industry's learned a little something,
Right.
and it appears it has, Connie, in that underwriting is still a little bit tight, which is a good thing. New development in the pipeline is still relatively low based off of demand.
That's right.
Occupancies are at historic highs. Rate is coming back to getting close to 2007 peak years. So we're very excited about what the future holds.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if you're buying a property, what is the criteria that you look for, whether to buy, not to buy?
Yeah. We run through a metric, so we've created a number of boxes, if you will, that in order for us to go ahead and deploy our capital resources, that asset has to hit all of these boxes. We say we'd rather do 1 10 deal
Right.
than 2 9 deals or 3 8 deals. We
That's
want to
right.
make sure that it's an absolute success. So it's got to be high barriers to entry market, multiple demand generators in that market. If we can get a good flag on the hotel, we're going to do that because of the res system and the contribution that that
Right.
flag brings.
Right.
Not that we're afraid of independence, but we like the value a flag brings.
Okay.
Yep. So all those things, we then measure that off, and then ultimately it comes down to what basis can you get in there at?
Right, right.
What's the asset worth, and what
Right.
can you pay for it?
So do you usually buy the property that needs renovation and you renovate and do that, or is it?
Yeah, we like to say we like dirty, undermanaged hotels.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we
That's the key.
Yeah, we understand those real well. We know how to fix that real
Right,
well. So
right.
yeah, if we see an asset that's underperforming, and it's underperforming in the areas that we know we perform real well in, there's value add there.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, I read about your 3-legged stool, about your company. So can you share with us a little bit about that?
Sure. It's really the keystone of everything we do when we make decisions, whether
Right.
it's at the property level, the corporate level, or the personal level. Is that decision going to add value to the 3-legged stool, our 3 key stakeholders, our associates,
Yes?
our guests,
Yes.
and our investors.
Okay.
And if we can say yes with confidence in that
For
decision,
3?
then we know we made the right decision.
Yeah, that would be fantastic things. So now, a lot of people looking at you and said, geez, I wish I was like him. You know, so young people just getting out of school, they just getting into the hotel industry. What is your advice for them to be really focused on?
Yeah, I don't want to oversimplify the response here, but one of the things that I tell all of my team is work hard. It will get noticed.
Right,
You're promised
right,
an opportunity,
right.
equal opportunity. You're not promised an outcome.
Yes,
That outcome is largely dependent on how hard you work.
right.
And we say luck favors the prepared. And so work hard, work smart, be a leader, be a servant to
Right.
those that you work with, so that they know that they can come to you, and good things will happen for you in your career.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That I heard that the great leaders are the best servants.
That's exactly right.
So that's a great philosophy. And then everybody is giving back. And then now you have, like you said, association that actually teaches everybody that, as you mentioned. Can you describe just a little bit more on that?
Well,
Is it actually the school? Is it the formal school that they attend?
it is. So we about 4 years ago, we hired a lady who was with Marriott Corporation. She was their corporate director of training for 25 years.
Yes.
She came to our organization and she's created a training program that is in perpetuity.
Yes.
And it's a multiple training program, so
Yes.
that line level associates are trained how to become supervisors. Supervisors are trained how to become mid-level managers, and managers of
Just
the
bring them
properties.
up and up and
Exactly.
up.
And what that does selfishly for us, Connie, is it creates a bench, if you will,
Right.
for us, so that at any given time, if my team is able to go ahead and bring in more hotels into our portfolio, I have the talent ready to deploy to be successful at those
That's
hotels.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Just leave one wisdom, one word if you want to share to all the audiences. What is that word?
Marry well.
That's great. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Brett.
Connie. My
You're
pleasure.
wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
And,
Thank you.
And we have so much more stories I'd like to hear, and we would love to have you back sometime. Would you come back?
It'd be my pleasure.
Thank you for watching Hospitality Insider on Koni TV. Today we had a great session with Brett Rahinsky at Hotel Equities in Atlanta, Georgia, who has a great experiences in the hotel industry, not only for corporate level, hotel level, in a management, operational, and marketing. We are so lucky to have him today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want more information about Koni TV, please go to konitv.tv and contact us.
This is Ken Salyer with Tricus, and I want to thank you for watching.
You're watching
Thanks for watching Koni TV.
Connie TV. Connie TV.
Watch it every day for the latest hospitality news, hospitality trends, or whatever you desire to find out in the hospitality industry.
Come join us now at konitv.tv.